Sure, we're supposed to have some people in person today. Well, it's that time. Good afternoon, everybody. And so far, everybody's on Zoom. Got 6 here. So you're going to be an all Zoom day? That'll be different. Okay, we've got Sophia here, we've got Anai, we've got Anthony, we've got Jacqueline, we've got Jair, we've got Melissa, and Esmeralda. Everybody's on Zoom. Oh my gosh. Okay. Blue 7 period has gone fully online. Well, in that case, I'm definitely going to need everybody to turn on their cameras then. I gotta have face to actually see. Oh. Hey, you know what? That makes it easy. I don't have to get up. I can sit down the whole time. Right. Hello there. So, once again, good afternoon. Glad to have you here. Reminder from Rafiki. There, that. I need to sit like here, and I can point that way, right? Because you're seeing my screen over there. Right? So reminder from Rafiki, don't try to run finger past, instead learn from it. And we'll be learning some things from the past today. All right, before I dive into today's work, someone from 4th period asked an amazing question. I'm so glad they did, because I feel like I dropped the ball with explaining where we're going in this class in particular. I've set up a lot of things here with our studies so far, right? About math in general, about what it is, what it's for, what are the different areas of math, what does geometry do, what's unique about it, right? Which is what we will be getting to study very shortly. But someone asked, hey, Mr. Apple, are we ever going to see numbers in this class? I thought that was hilarious. Like, you're right. We've been doing a lot of reading and writing so far, and it's like no math class you've ever had before. Which, to be fair, geometry, by its nature, as you've seen, it covers a different area. So it's going to be different. But I've made it even more different than usual this year. And I hope you can forgive me. So refer back to this curriculum outline. This is everything we're going to cover in the year. We've been doing this first section, what is math? We've been going through some of that. And then next week we'll talk about communication, specific things to think about when you're reading a math text, better ways to take notes in class, that sort of stuff. But then after that, we get into the actual meat of the logic unit. And you get to the elementary logic E there. And all of that reasoning stuff is about ideas and how ideas connect. And so none of them require any numbers, per se. It's not until we get to the second quarter and we hit our SAT geometry section that we'll get into a more typical math class kind of groove, right? Where you'll have more numbers-based exercises to deal with. And that's probably what you'd expect from a geometry math course. Will be in that quarter. And it highlights just the very basics geometry that you need for the SAT. Next semester, we'll go beyond that and start looking at more sophisticated problems and how to solve them in math and in general, problem-solving strategies to deal with the big word problems and more complicated things. That's where it really gets interesting. But in order to do that, we need to lay the foundation of not just the basic geometry concepts, but the methods for thinking about math in general. And that's where we come to today's work. Go back to, so today's classwork is independent. You'll be watching some videos. Okay? There's this crazy math teacher on YouTube that made a few videos back in the spring about the math thinking fundamentals. Some of these very basic ideas that stretch out and encompass all of mathematics. And you can, kind of like when we looked at the one-word math classes, you can think about most math topics in terms of these ideas and carry them forward. Okay? So I want you to watch these videos. There are 5 parts. I've linked to the first one there, and I've also linked to the playlist, so you can just move directly that way. There's more videos in the playlist. You only need to do the ones labeled Math Thinking Fundamentals, Part 1, Part 2, through Part 5, okay? Just those ones are required, 5 videos. They're about 10 or 12 or so minutes long each. I know it's a lot altogether, and that's why I've set this to just watch them independently. And then when you watch them, or as you're watching them, maybe jot down some notes if that helps you keep track of this, because I want you to respond to the whole series. I want you to give me 2 paragraphs. First, summarize what you've learned from these. And condense those videos down into 1 paragraph. What are the ideas here? What's the point? And then second, I want you to tell me how this will affect your thinking. So I want you to take that information and personalize it. What does it mean to you? How are you going to use it moving forward? If at all, maybe you think, I don't think this really affects me much, or, oh yeah, I think about this differently, or that makes me think of this other thing. Right? Carry that forward. How's that going to impact the rest of your math class thinking here? All right. That's it. That's all I've got for today. Any questions on what we're doing?
Is there anything else we're supposed to do?
There's nothing to the classwork today. I will get to the homework post in a moment. Okay? But no questions on that work. Watch videos, 2 paragraph response. Okay. So then the final thing to mention here is the other post, the Wednesday homework down in, here you go. Whole new category for SAT practice. Okay? Part of this year, because it's your sophomore year, is preparing you for the SAT. All right? And sorry to say, the best way to prepare for the SAT is to practice taking the SAT. So I have created a set of weekly practices of only 10 questions each. So every week there'll be a new set of multiple choice SAT style questions for you to practice with. But before we get to the weekly practices, I want to start this week with a diagnostic pre-test to see where you're at in regards to SAT taking skill, because that's a whole skill set by itself. It really is. And we'll talk more about it later in the year, of specific test taking skills. So this is 25 questions. I want you to spend no more than an hour on it. See what you are capable of. Do all that you can do. You can use a calculator. You can use pencil and scratch paper. Don't use any other resources. Don't look up anything. Don't ask anybody else for help. Your result here is not graded. It's just, I'm going to give you points for having completed it, but your actual score is only, it's like the map test, right? I just want to know where you're sitting at in regards to this, and then we'll take a post-test at the end of the year, see how much progress you've made, okay? So please take this as seriously as you can. I've scheduled it up. You've got effectively a long weekend. I know you've got 2 work days. But as far as class assignments is concerned, should be enough time. You can fit in that extra hour there. Usually weekend homework will not be that long. All right? So that's the homework. Questions on that? All right then. Please keep your camera on so I know you're still mentally around and engaged, and go ahead and watch those videos. Mid of last year, I think they're still good enough to use. No sense repeating myself then.